And we are live. Hey, friends, this is Ernie from the Trader of Futures, and this is the Live and Let Die show. Currently, we're focusing on Bitcoin, but we could talk about just about anything that has to do with finance, personal development, entrepreneurship, motivation, whatever you'd like. Seriously. And the one thing that I like to do in this show is spend a lot of time with people in the comment section. So if you've got something to say it. I will address you directly. And already we have a couple of people in. Looking forward to a lot more. So this particular show is going to be somewhat dedicated to Bitcoin and the current downturn. If you've been following me, you may be well aware, and if you aren't, I'll make you aware that my current strategy with Bitcoin is to short every rally. Why? Why am I shorting every rally? How could I possibly do that? Am I not aware that when it goes up, that I should be going long as well? Do I think that that is really a great strategy? Is there risk in that? Or is there less risk in going short? How do you determine that? Well, a lot of people think that technicals help you go long and short, regardless of where price is. I used to be of that mindset. I've been trading for a long time. I've been a former quantitative trader, fund manager, developer of algorithmic systems for hedge funds, institutions, been through all of that. I've paid my dues as a discretionary trader and as a systematic trader. I've been an institutional trader, trading tens of millions of dollars per trade. And I've slowly gotten away from actually, I'm divorced of most of that stuff now. Now I develop systems, manage a small hedge fund, focus on education and coaching. And I find that so much more satisfying. All right, let's see what we have so far in the comments section. Let's talk about scam crypto coins. No, that subject is so far gone. Well, the one thing that I can say about scam crypto coins and lending coins and miners, cloud mining, all of that stuff, those types of scams, believe it or not, you would think that they had all their heyday in 2017. But the fact is that scams and fraudulent use of crypto is 3 to 4 times as large a problem today as it was in 2017, even without Bitcoin Act. I know it's hard to believe, but it's true. Go type in Bitcoin scam or Bitcoin fraud, and you'll see that the types of cases around the world are mounting. It's just a problem that's out of control, and it's one of the reasons why it would be very, very difficult to see the SEC latching on to Bitcoin and giving it any kind of approval for an ETF. And I know that goes square in the face of those Bitcoin faithful that think that an ETF is going to bring us to the moon and get you those Lambos and bring in the institutional money, but they're wrong. They are so, so wrong. It's not going to happen anytime soon. So just get that out of your head. And quite frankly, the state of the crypto industry, even though with as many people as there are involved in it, think about this. Just think about this from a kind of a fundamental point of view. that there are literally millions of people that are involved in this industry trying to improve the ecosystem. Developers giving up their lives and their time to develop open source solutions. Lots and lots of companies exploring these different avenues. Huge platform companies that have made literally billions or raised billions of dollars, and still they have no real business. And, you know, some people can say that, oh, well, you have to give the whole technology time to mature. Well, it's had 9 years. It's had 2 or 3 years of raising billions, and it's gotten nowhere. It's because nobody can figure out how they're going to take a square peg and put it in a round hole. Now, this is not to say that sometime in the future, a decentralized economy will be part of our lives. Maybe even the majority, maybe all our economic systems will be based on some sort of decentralized cryptocurrency at some time in the future, but it's not now, and it's not anywhere near in the near future. Most people cannot let that go. But it's the truth. Ernie, when mourn? I'm not sure exactly what I'm mourning over. Hi, have you been involved in the dot-com bubble? Have I been involved in the dot-com bubble? I could tell you stories that would raise the hair on the backs of your neck. I was directly involved in the dot-com bubble. I was the chief architect of a Fortune 50 company during that time that was probably most complicit, along with other companies like an IBM or an EDS and others, in enabling many of these stupid companies that thought that they were going to just throw money and create the new internet. Literally enabling and financing these companies, providing them the technical guidance, even though we knew that their business models were all bullshit. We didn't care because we just stood to make tons and tons of money off of our hardware and software. So yeah, I was involved in the dot-com bubble big time. I don't see any difference between that and this, although, well, there is a difference. I think that the crypto bubble is way ahead of its time. That is, if it is going to have some time in the future. It's way, I mean, the economy, the people, the technology are just not ready for a decentralized world. Do you have a take on the BTC versus BCH debate? No. No, anything other than Bitcoin and even its derivatives or its namesakes are all bullshit in my view. Now you have to pay your dues as a YouTuber. Now I have to pay my dues. I paid my dues as a YouTuber. I had a pretty successful channel, and it was compromised by some nefarious people, and starting all over again. You people can help me out by spreading, you know, I'm trying to provide value here. Help me out by giving likes to this video and sharing it to your friends. Tell your friends. If you're not already a subscriber, subscribe. Subscribe today so that I can re-attain, you know, the level that I was at before. Right now, I'm starting right back in the dumpsters, and I really appreciate the people that have found me again and are participating in these. This is great. Thank you very much. Really appreciative. And I'll try to give back as much as I possibly can. So getting back a little bit to the strategy of shorting every rally. The reason why we short every rally is that the cryptocurrency world, from a fundamental point of view, is in the dumps. It's as simple as that. Huge downtrend, strong downtrend on the falling edge of a massive bubble. Incredible fraud out there. Very few companies actually picking this up and doing anything with this technology. Sure, they're talking about private blockchains and distributed ledgers and et cetera, and there are some public distributed ledgers which really haven't produced anything, really. Most people still believe that crypto is dangerous, and they're correct, and so they are uninvolved. And it's going to take a monumental upswing in this technology and the price and its perception before the larger public gets involved. Now, all of this said, still doesn't mean that you cannot make money in this industry. And I believe there's a lot of money to be made. A damn lot of money. Most people think that there's money to be made by fleecing others, unfortunately. And those people still exist out there. Those altcoins, those shitcoins still exist. The miners, the lending operations, they still exist. And they are the bane to this industry, and they will keep it down for quite some time. But it's not the reason why it's down. The fundamental idea behind a blockchain, a immutable linked database, or an immutable linked or distributed ledger, is a pretty good idea, but it's not new. It is not new. Yet people talk about it as being a revolutionary technology. The only thing that's revolutionary is that it is the first distributed or decentralized application that has attained the type of growth or size. That's the only thing that's kind of revolutionary, I guess, and that there is no centralized authority. There have been other decentralized applications that still exist today. They've come and they've gone. This one is stuck a bit, mostly because people have hyped it up and have been able to make billions or hundreds of millions or tens of millions or even millions of dollars off of it. And so they are perpetuating its life this high. And that will probably last for a little bit longer. Hey, Ernie, do you invest in real estate other than your primary residence, multifamily units, etc.? Currently, no, but I am looking for units, vacation homes, and not in a position to actually purchase one right now. Probably later this year or early next year. Hey, he turned up today. Hope all is good. Yeah, yesterday, I'm sorry I missed yesterday's show. I did at least manage to put out a couple of videos, but the live show I missed. And that is another business that I'm involved in that let's just say it's a little clandestine, and I'm not going to talk about it. But it's one of my primary sources of income. And got busy on that. And as you know, I am a huge proponent. As a matter of fact, I think it's absolutely necessary for anybody that wants a degree of freedom in their life to have multiple sources of income. And those sources should be as diverse as possible. And I'll talk about that more in detail in the future with ideas on how you can do that. I know a lot of you would like to be independent. I mean, I've got the life, man. I've been independent and working on my own, working out of the home for more than 20 years. It's really cool. It's not always easy, but I've found ways to make income, substantial income, and other times where I can skate along. And because of the idea of multiple sources of income, when some things die, some sources of income die, I'm still able to maintain myself without having to panic. And that's really the whole idea behind multiple sources of income. Sometimes you're dealt a big blow, but still able to survive and move on and continue and prosper. That's what life, but on the other side of that, the benefit is that I've been at home with my kids from the time that they were babies and now they're grown. How many of you can say that? Been able to spend quality time with my family from cradle to jumping out of the nest. I've also been able to afford nice things in life, be able to go on vacation, complete freedom. Complete freedom. I answer to nobody. Basically work when I want, travel when I want, go where I want, do what I please. Do you think Bitcoin is worth more than $600? If that. Anything that is priced at the current price is worth what people are willing to pay for it at that time. So is it worth $600? Yeah, I mean, it's worth what people are willing to pay for it right now. But what's its potential, up or down? I think the potential is much lower than the current price. The current price is being manipulated and pumped based on what has been able to transpire over the past 2 years, with a lot of that being fueled by fraudulent activity. Beztard says, love the green screen. I don't know, does that sound like a green screen to you? That's my backyard. That is my backyard. My backyard, I've got about a little over 5 acres of land in one of the most exclusive areas in Massachusetts, situated in the middle of a wildlife sanctuary. So, I went on vacation recently down to Martha's Vineyard, which we do every year. Spend a few weeks down there in August. And it's beautiful there. I love it. The water, everything. The vacation home is wonderful. But this is just as beautiful. I mean, the only thing I don't have, I'm not on the water here. But I've got the most beautiful trails and property that you could possibly imagine. It's not a mountain scene, but it's beautiful. Why does the U.S. allow crypto? I don't, the U.S., the United States government isn't allowing or disallowing anything. There is nothing to allow or disallow. It's just another thing that's out there that people, they're not going to allow it to compete with the dollar. I can guarantee you that. And I think that overall they're interested in the possibility of moving to a cryptocurrency in the future. And so for them, it's like a useful experiment that's going on. So the U.S. never allows anything. It's the United States, it's the people of the United States that allow it. A lot of people don't understand that. That the U.S. government is the government of the people and by the people and for the people. Your thoughts about equity token offering setup? I'm not sure exactly what that is. None. Morning dead Bitcoin. Bitcoin isn't dead yet. It is not dead just yet. And I don't believe that it's going to die, per se. I think that it will appear to be dead, or it will die off of certain perches. Come on, Ernie, live and let die. Not when moon, but when morn. All right. Sash's Ernie, a pro tip for you. Check gold retracement 80s and compare it with the BTCs and tell me what you see. You can actually. Do you see what I wrote to you in Discord about BTC's data? I'd have to go check that out. So I don't know, but I can tell you that there is no correlation between gold and Bitcoin. However, I am in a gold trade right now. I am long gold futures. And that's actually referenced, if I may, reference the artificial intelligence embodiment call that I made this morning. So we are in gold futures. Crypto Shill, thanks, man. You're the best. Thank you very much. Truth Clown, will there be a volume profile course tomorrow? No, I have not. I have not advertised it, but there will be one next weekend. All right. So I'm announcing that right now. There will be a volume profile course next weekend, and I'm going to incorporate in this course not only Bitcoin, but also equities and ETFs. And I'm going to start talking about that more this weekend, setting this all up. So it's going to be a new expanded volume profile course. So if you're interested in that, now I should say in the past, I have offered a free coaching session with the volume profile course. So anybody that takes up the volume profile course also can then schedule a free session, a one-time session with me, no additional cost, where we can talk about the volume profile course or any other thing that you want to talk about concerning trading or entrepreneurship, or even if you just want to shoot the shit. But that session, I charge people $300 for, so that'll come free with it. Now, if that's something that you would like to see with this course, then I'll offer it again. People get a lot of value out of it. A lot of times what happens is people will then take me up on, after seeing the value in that, take me up on a full-fledged coaching program. Ernie, Roger Fu asks, hi, Ernie, you thought so high of Hashgraph. Are you still thinking that way? Well, I'm taking a wait and see attitude. They have released their mainnet. Now I'm interested in seeing what they have to offer. Will they, what companies are going to come on board? What applications are they going to introduce to that mainnet? I think Hashgraph, are doing it right with their governance model, their distributed governance model, a very strong governance model. So I am very interested in seeing how that works out. They're also talking about coming up with a coin, so that's going to be interesting as well. So I don't have any, anything to say much more than that, because they haven't really done anything. I mean, they just released the main net, so we have to see what happens. Ray B. Ernie, true. Altcoin, huge news, price volume increases. They are Chinese Vietnamese. They achieved ASIC resistant. So are you saying here that they've come up with ways of providing consensus in a more efficient way using ASICs or non-ASICs, or just regular GPUs, or what? Why you changed your room? I changed my room because right now I'm refinishing my desk, downstairs, plus doing some other things. And I will soon, after that is all finished, I will move everything back down there. Is everyone still giving you the business, Ernie? It never ends. That's right, Dave. Thank you, News Unit. Nice to see you here. Refined hayseed Appalachian. I got bees, chickens, and catfish. Man, you should see some of the stuff that's out back here. News Unit. That was a cool green screen demo. Yep. All right. The longs versus shorts. If you do this on TradingView, you can see that the overall market is downtrending. Yeah, I agree with that. I've been talking about that a lot. Thanks for bringing that up, Jason Koo. And Maximus K. Come on. People have no say what the government crook up. That's not true. I don't agree with that 100%. This is still the United States of America. We can vote people in, we can vote people out. Over time, every once in a while, we have some cronies that take a little while to work through, but ultimately we all have our own say. It's a constant fight because freedom is not free, but it's still there and it's still ours. The aim is to industrialize the issue of digital equity tokens, shares of companies, enabling entrepreneurs on all sides, not just blockchain, to raise funds from a multitude of investors. Yeah, but it's not going to happen in the context of a country that requires certain regulation. And people are more in tune to that regulation than the anarchism of digital equity. News Unit says gold futures just started tipping over. Yep, they're down to 11.94. I got in at 11.95 and change, so I'm down about $1. But the call is 11.97 or below to go long, and then the target is 12.09. Ray B. Ernie, another altcoin that is making strides is ArcBlock, ABT. Do they have a better business model than other similar projects? I don't know anything about them. All right, and I don't know what kind of blockchain that they have or what their business model is or if they are a platform, or I know nothing about them, so I have no way, to comment. News Unit, you need All in Gold and Truth Crackers and Chigas to come on live with you sometime. I don't know. They're entertaining, but over time they become annoying, Dave. I wouldn't mind having you on, Dave. That I would rather have you than those guys, to tell you the truth. What do trolls actually look like? Okay, Sash says, Ernie, I am not talking about any correlation between the two instruments. Something else is in play there. I'll leave you to research it and figure it out by yourself. Okay, thank you. Trojan Hell, bulls and bears are battling it out. Ernie, do you still think we're going below 6K? Yeah, I do. I think that we will continue to go down. All right. The corruption has eaten up your government like at least 20 years ago, sorry to say, but voting in and out is just a scam as the market we are talking about. Actually, I think a lot of those are changing. And if you're not in this country, you may think that is the case by observing the mainstream media, which is completely complicit with one party than the other. But I think that is all changing now. You ask in Discord, Bitcoin will be over or under 6K in the end of September. What do you think? I'm saying under. So the over-under. What is the over-under of Bitcoin by the end of September? Of 6K, at 6K. Are we going to be over 6K or below 6K? Life Experiments and Hacks. Oh, that's the whole name. Is Bitcoin going to be fact tonight? I don't know what fact means. F-A-C-K-E-D, or fucked tonight, I guess. News Unit. Keep shorting Bitcoin. I think BitMEX is a huge gang of shorts too. Take care. Take it easy, Dave. Yeah. Yeah, I would say that the strategy is to still short every rally. Short every rally. The long-term prognosis, the fundamental prognosis is hugely bearish. That has not changed at all. It has not changed at all. If anything, it's gotten stronger. We are still bearish. And I think we're going to be in a bear market for at least the next year. Now, something could change. Hashgraph could do something miraculous. Some companies could decide that they're all going to go all in on distributed ledger. I don't see how that's possible. I am talking about major companies. But it could happen. There could be a groundswell, a grassroots uprising of companies that take on Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies as an alternative currency. That could happen. It's a dream, but it could happen. Or anyways, Bert. Haven't heard that one before. What do you think about Ether now? I have zero opinion, and that is my opinion, zero of Ether right now, of any altcoin. And Bitcoin isn't much behind. Goldman Sachs fake news is hilarious. Yeah, it's not just Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs, Bloomberg, CNBC, Fortune, Inc., Business Insider. You could go on and on. Every single one of them are shills of the whales behind Bitcoin. They are the shills. They are getting manipulated and pushed around and paid off to talk up Bitcoin. Simple as that. Thoughts on Litecoin? Meh. They're all shit. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. But let me just, reiterate. I like Bitcoin as a trading medium. It has pretty good liquidity. It has excellent volatility. There are derivative markets. I don't know why I'm having problems speaking this afternoon. There are derivative markets. There are futures both on the CME and the CBOE. You can get in on it with hardly any money at all and play that thing. It might cost you a little bit. Transaction times might be slow, and that's the hard part. That's why the derivative markets are a better play, but you need a little bit more money in order to play those. But I think it's worth playing. Ernie, do you think the top 100 wallets that have millions of Bitcoin will allow it to fall below 6K? I think that they're coming to the conclusion or the realization that in order for the market to improve, in order for us to get out of this morass, that they must allow this market to fall so that they can wipe out all those fraudulent operators. And that's the biggest problem right now. Fraudulent operators. How did you know Bitcoin dropped super fast? I remember you said the low volume node, but I don't understand. Well, okay, we're talking more, volume profile analysis, but how did I know that it was going to go down? That had nothing to do with volume profile. Volume profile is used as sort of a tool to figure out targets, to figure out areas of potential entries and targets. So in general, I look at high volume nodes as potential targets and low volume nodes or low volume wells as potential entry points. And it also tells us something about the behavior, but I'm not going to do an entire volume profile course right here. There's more to it than just that. And I will be talking about that this weekend. I am going to start looking at ETFs as well as Bitcoin in the context of volume profile. And that would be part of the course. The pumps since 11 didn't come from corpse, interest, or other mass usage. So why do you expect the next one would come because of that? Most likely it isn't. Well, because first of all, nobody was interested in it back then. And then all of a sudden, huge amounts of retail money came in as well as other people. And then they made a bunch of money. They made so much money that they became equivalent to Fortune 500s and Fortune 1000s. That's how much money they made off the backs of retailers. And then they continued to pump it up with the hype around Bitcoin. And we're still getting over that high. But it's not going to happen again. The general public is not going to be brought into this again because the fraudsters or the governments have a better understanding of how that all works, and it would be extremely difficult for all those types of scams and frauds to grow the way they did. Now they're still peaking, and that's why the government is not interested in regulating this right now. Most likely it isn't. The algo will pump it and people will FOMO. The algo can only go so far without new money. And the whales aren't willing to exhaust all their money. I don't understand. 6 months ago, you were saying Bitcoin was amazing and going back to 5. No, I didn't. Never said that. I don't know who you are. Weird. 87841356876511484. I don't know who you are or where you got that information, but I never said any such thing. Truth Clown, to be honest, the Andreas flop, a lus strikes me as dodgy. His body language doesn't match his words. I still think that Andreas Antonopoulos is the ultimate shill and fraud. He's a smart guy. There is no doubt. He's a bit of a cuck as well. And I don't respect cucks. So he's basically a smart cuck. That's what he is. True, restrains powers of the minders while using a hybrid consensus, permissionless consensus. Found this coin by chance. They have a yellow paper. A yellow paper. Fantomes Flamant. I love you, baby. Love you right back. Sorry, I must have misunderstood, but seemed to be bullshit. Yeah, I mean, I did say one time earlier in the year, actually starting last year, that I thought it was possible after the bubble burst that we would go to 30,000. And I held on to that view right through to about 10,000. At that point, after becoming more and more familiar with the industry and the people in it, it became clear to me that that was not going to happen. So I pulled that back, that 30,000 call. By the end of this year. Now, could it happen at the end of next year? It's very possible. Anything can happen. I was leaving it out there, and I always leave out there possibilities. It didn't mean I was calling for 30,000. It meant that I felt that it was possible that we could go to 30,000, as well as it's possible we could go to 1,000. You'll see that most of my calls, even in the context of the algo calls that I put out there, they are also looking at both short and long opportunities with the same asset. So yeah. Is investing in Monero in the future bad or not? Monero, I don't know, because some people are going to find value in that as an altcoin, particularly the dark web. So I think that it has some stickiness. Jose Diaz, any prediction for Bitcoin at the end of this year? Yeah, I think I've said that pretty clearly, that I think for the next year we're going to be in a bear market. I expect there to be a major channel somewhere between 4,000 and 9,000, maybe lower, I don't know, and then drifting down for the next year or so. Yeah, that's okay. Bullish, not bullshit. All right. Truth Clown. He's a cock. Yes, and Crypto Shill also seconds that one smart cuck. Smart cucks are the worst. Life experiments and hacks. Gonna buy all the shitcoins once Bitcoin crashes. Maybe. It might not be a bad strategy. It's like buying the dogs of the Dow or something. Adam, Zcoin is best privacy coin. I have no. All right, Hayseed, how much physical cash should one hold as a percentage of net worth? Well, that's a good question. You should always have enough cash to be liquid to ride through any kind of calamity so that you can pay bills for a certain amount of time. But I think that you can mitigate that by having multiple streams of income. So that's why I say that multiple streams of income are the most important strategy. Then the amount of cash that you have doesn't matter. What really matters is your cash flow, right? There should be some minimum amount of cash that you have on hand to do the things that you want to do or to handle any kind of calamity. But cash flow is what is king. Cash isn't king. Cash flow is king. So multiple streams of income is important. I've also talked about, wealth building, and I've said that you want to target something over 30% of your income should be designated towards your wealth building. So after you've paid all your bills, paid Uncle Sam or the tax man, and all your fun, and recreational type of stuff, over that, you should target about 30% going towards your wealth building, and it's long-term wealth building. Bitcoin to the noom or the moon? The noom. Ernie, how miners gonna benefit from Bitcoin going to 5K? A lot of them won't benefit. A lot of them will have to go out of business. Now, most of the miners out there are congregated in pools. So a lot of the miners aren't individual entities. They are sharing. That's the only way that they can make money, by sharing in that pool and then divvying up the profits. A lot of those are going to go away. The ones that will remain will get a bigger piece of the pie. And remember that their price of entry, or the amount of their costs, are higher than 5K, and some are much lower than 5K. Do whales benefit only from going long? No, whales are benefiting from the manipulation that they do. They benefit both short and long, depending on how they take advantage of the derivatives. Now the derivatives are in the market, they can do all kinds of stuff. Francois Xavier, did you close your short from the previous rally? I will scale down mine around 6,100. The answer is yes. I make $1,000 profit, I'm out. I'm good with that. especially when it drops that fast. Bitcoin royalty. Bitcoin will have all the fungibility of your favorite privacy coin soon. The implementation is under peer review. Really don't know what you're talking about, but hey, sounds good. I mean, Bitcoin in of itself is a fungible asset. And when you say fungibility, do you mean that there will be fungibility across different altcoins? You know, I mean, some people they had that dream with atomic transactions, for instance. Ethereum, listen to Ivan on tech, and wow, did he give the goods on it. Ethereum network, you will need gas in addition to cryptocurrency in order to use your app. Yeah, I'm not sure how that guy got as many subscribers as he did. He's a smart guy and everything, young and ambitious. Renee Frankie, hi, how you doing? Will Ethereum die too? I don't know. You know, there's a lot of money behind it. It's hard to see it just die. Trojan Hell, Ernie, do you use your algo for Bitcoin as well? And is it successful? The answer is we're not using it just yet because we don't have a reliable data source going back, say, to 2009. And that's what we really need in order to evaluate enough information in order to make our and I wouldn't just call it an algo. It's really an artificial intelligence, the embodiment to be able to analyze, to start spitting out trades. We need much more data. So we are looking for a good, reliable, cheap source of data. Quite frankly, we don't want to pay for it. It's as simple as that. But life experiments and hacks. Just stole a Bitcoin from Doge's mouth. Okay. Scruff McDudington. Ernie, great advice to short Bitcoin. Easy money. You're welcome. You know, people in my Discord group, if you're not part of the Discord group, go down to the description down below and join the Discord. We talk about shorting Bitcoin. And the people that are in that group have made bank. They have banked it big time. Really big time. Shorting Bitcoin. It's been a strategy that has worked. We talk about when to short, how to manage your risk. That's the important part, how to manage your risk. Managing your risk in shorting is extremely important. Position sizing, etc. All right. So go to the Discord. There's a Discord invite down below. Go there and join the Discord. It's free. We've got about 1,100 users in there. Love to have 2,000, 5,000. That's where you need to go. Go to the Discord. Stever G2, shorting Ethereum even better. It's probably true. But the problem with that is that the only way to short it is in a margined account, in a non-regulated account. And that's why I like Bitcoin, because you can short it in futures in a regulated CME or CBOE derivative futures contract. Scruff. You are the only dude I see calling these shorts on Bitcoin. I told you I was afraid of your last call, but blammo. That's right. You were saying, warning you at 7,100, you thought it might go up. But I said, no. Stick with the strategy. The strategy, let me reiterate it, is short every rally and short until it hurts. Short until it hurts. Short until you bleed. Because by that time, you will have made so much money, you won't care that you're bleeding. Bitcoin royalty. Do you think leverage trading is a problem? Yeah, I do. For most people, it is. The CME futures and the CBOE futures only leverage about 2.5 times. So it's really short. It's really inconsequential leverage. You can go to BitMEX and do up to 100 times leverage, which is crazy. Most people don't know how to handle leverage. They have no idea what the leverage is for. So yeah, but leverage is also good. If you understand leverage and understand how to use it, particularly in the futures market, you can use it to your advantage. And specifically, if you're doing peers trading and hedging, you can actually get a discount on the margin. So you can get unbelievable leverage for incredibly small prices in a regulated market. And that's why you really should learn how to trade futures. Trading futures on an individual basis is extremely risky unless you really know what you're doing. You have an excellent system. I wouldn't recommend it. But pairs trading in the futures market, blammo, to quote Scruff. All right, Scruff, take care. I learned risk management on shorting when Bitcoin ran up to 8.5K. Yeah, that's a good way to learn. So are whales going to sell soon? I don't know, but I think that, I've said this in past shows, that the only way Bitcoin is going to survive is if it dies. It must come down hard. Bitcoin must die in order to live. And I think they're coming to that realization that they must clean out all the crap, all the shit coins. They must go. And the only way to do that is to bring it down, baby. Bring it down. Can bleed stop at 1K? Yeah, I think that there's enough of an ecosystem that things will continue on. There may also be institutional investors that might start looking at Bitcoin favorably and start investing at that price. Oh, also, if you haven't done so already, click the like button. Do it right now. Click that like button. And share the video, please. Thank you very much. Ray, oops, I mean that they're non-paid users. Many crypto tubers were promoting Shapeshift and or working for it, thus created a loyalty base, and now screw you. Yeah, Shapeshift was an interesting product. I haven't followed it, so sounds like they're not doing so well. Skeletor, cool name. Is a buy and hold strategy for Bitcoin bad right now? Yeah, because it can go down so much more. You could buy here, and if it goes to to 1K, you've lost over 80%. I mean, is that what you want to do? I would be trading Bitcoin here. I would not be buying and holding. I would be shorting and shorting every rally. With a 5-year or longer profit goal. See, the problem is I don't know. See, a 5-year profit goal, you don't know how much further it's going to go down. So you could go down from here at 6K down to 1K, and you have only 20% of your money. What good is that? It doesn't do you a whole lot of good at all. Why not scale in under a certain amount? Then, I mean, 5 years in this world, that's a long time. Crypto Bacon, I have no idea how to short. Can you make a how-to videos or point me in the direction of where I can learn to step by step on how to short and how the contracts work? I will start doing that. I will start next week. I promise you that I will start talking about shorting. Not just with Bitcoin, but futures and also stocks. You need a margin account in order to short. There is no other way to short. Francois, Ernie, does your Bitcoin algo use other data than price, like volume, blockchain data, etc.? It can. It can use price, volume. It can use fundamental data. It can use all kinds of things. Depends on what we want to feed it. Like I said, it is an artificial intelligence inference engine. It depends on what we feed it and how we train it. Hard to see Bitcoin at 1K. A year ago, that wouldn't be hard to see. Do you mine Bitcoin? No, I do not. I am not in that business. It's not a profitable business unless you join a pool. You certainly can't do it on your own. There was a time I did mine, on my computer at one time, a long time ago. Didn't make much of it, just to see, just to try it. When do we advance to normal stock trading, not crypto, like you said you wanted it to, please? That is, with the addition of adding ETFs to my volume profile course, you're going to see me start talking more about ETFs and stocks and options going forward. I just got back from vacation, so I have to kind of retool. Adam, Bitcoin, Adam BTC was at 1K last year. It's not hard to see. Yeah, exactly. Skeletor, right, thanks. Your channel is its own technical indicator. Thank you, I think. We were around 4K this day last year. Yeah, and so I'm sure 1K was a lot easier to see at 4K after it just came up from that level. Ray B, any recent news about pairing altcoins, not using Bitcoin as a base value? Many developers really pissed off to see their projects go down the tube. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see how you can put any kind of trust in any kind of altcoin. Why bother? If you have a little bit of money, throw it into different things, and if it makes some, take the profit. But look at it as a lottery ticket. Hayseed says, gold rush days of the 1860s facilitated casinos. Wealth transfer becoming more rapid. Same today with Bitcoin. Yeah, I can see that. But I haven't seen the equivalent of casinos with Bitcoin. That was the lending operations, the cloud miners, and the high return, high yield coins, that sort of thing. But those things still exist, and they're actually a bigger problem today. But new ones coming up, it's going to be difficult. Most people are getting savvy to that. I wasn't there in December run up. How was the climate and Bitcoin community? Were the FOMO numbers huge? Well, it was mostly spurred on by the idea that CME futures were going to usher in new institutional money. And from that, most people thought that Bitcoin was going to go to the moon once Wall Street was invested. And I was, if you were following me at that time, that I was 100% the opposite, knowing that futures were not going to be used that way and that it wouldn't attract Wall Street money, that futures would be used by the whales and the miners as a hedging mechanism. And in fact, that they would short using futures. And on the day that futures were introduced by the CME on December 17th, that was the high in Bitcoin. No coincidence. Ryan, smash that like button. Thank you, Ryan. Adam, are you trading gold? Yeah, I am. Like I said, I am in gold right now at a price of 1195.60, and it's currently 1195.40. So that's where I entered. And that's per my trading call that I put out earlier today. Luke Wenceslas Meyerneck. I just say Luke. What would you say to someone who wanted to move a large chunk of capital into just blockchain? Well, blockchain is a generic term, Luke. It doesn't really mean anything. But if you wanted to, say, trade into companies that were promoting blockchain, I would say that would be a big mistake right now, because I don't see a lot of growth in that industry just yet. Maybe next year. But currently, I just don't see a lot of opportunity in just trading companies solely on their investments in blockchain, because I don't think that from an enterprise point of view, from the bigger company point of view, they're still trying to figure out how to make money, how to get a return on their investment, and what it will actually mean to their business model, their resource allocation. And most of them have not figured that out yet. So if you're, a speculator and you want to give it a shot and you have the money to do it, then yeah, I'd say that's okay, but I wouldn't even know where to begin. Even though companies like IBM and Microsoft and Red Hat and other bigger companies are already into blockchain, but mostly in name only. They talk about it to keep the buzz going. Ernie, where do you think we will get out of the bear market in 2 years from now? I am saying a year and a half, but that I might extend that as time goes on. What if the bear market lasts for 3 years? Then, then there's no harm. As I said, I believe that there's going to be a fair amount of volatility to trade this market up and down in this channel. Do you think Bitcoin will melt at some point? Yeah, absolutely. And I'll say it again. It must come down hard in order for it to go up. Before it's going to go up, it must have a major push down. And the whales are starting to realize this. Ernie, since 2013, tax agencies, the IRS, considers all cryptos as barter goods, thus subjected to federal, provincial, state income taxes on each crypto transaction. Why is the U.S. not doing this? They are, in fact, doing this. As a matter of fact, they have already made it. It's in the tax code right now. It is not of a like kind. In other words, Bitcoin is not of a like kind of some other altcoin. That is in the tax code right now. They do not consider it a currency, so therefore it is an asset. It will be treated as any other asset. Now, I'm not a tax attorney, so do not, take whatever I say. Whatever I say with a grain of salt. I can't believe that we've already gone an hour into this show. That's unbelievable. And I promised somebody that I would take their call after 2, and that was a call that was just coming in. So I will, I'll have to end the show here. This is the first time in a long time I've done an hour-long show. So thank you, everybody. One last question from Crypto Bacon. What do you think about selling property in another country in Bitcoin? What do you think would be the best company to do it through? That I don't know. I really don't know. I love to hear the bear market, as in drink beer. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. It's been wonderful. It's been real. It's been real wonderful. And we'll see you Monday with the next Bitcoin Live Live and Let Die show. I'm sure things will happen over the weekend. You can look forward to seeing some stuff from me over the weekend concerning volume profile and some change in direction. Thank you all. Good luck. Love you. Have a great weekend. Take care. See you next video.